loser, bum, junkie, ex-con, user, addict, worthless, useless. These words can become labels. Good morning, everybody. And today I want to talk about something that every single one of us has, something we use every day, and something that can have a much bigger impact than we realize. Our words. Man, first off, I want to show you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful morning. Beautiful. So, let's get into this. Think about some of the words people are called, and sometimes when we hear those labels enough, we don't just hear them from other people anymore. We start believing in them. We start believing them ourselves. I know that because I've lived it. When I was in the 3rd grade, teachers told me and my parents, your kid is a problem. He's just going to go to prison. He's going to be a criminal. Think about that for a minute. I was a kid in 3rd grade, and I was already having it put on me that I'm going to be in prison and I'm going to be useless and worthless and unvaluable. People were already predicting what I was going to become, and those words mattered because when you hear something enough, you can start to believe it. My dad went to prison, so would I. And I did. I grew up reciting that in my head, even telling others, yeah, I'm just going to go to prison when I get older. You can start living according to the identity that somebody else gave you. And that's why I believe there is so much power in the things we say. That which spoken creates. Our words are seeds, and just like a seed, what we plant has the potential to grow. If we constantly speak negativity over somebody, eventually that negativity can become part of the environment they are living in. But if we speak hope, encouragement, compassion, and possibility, we can create something completely different. We have to ask ourselves, what are we planting in the people around us? Because we put people in boxes. We meet somebody one time, maybe we see them in their worst moment. Maybe we know about their past. Maybe we know about their addiction. Maybe we know about their criminal history. Maybe we know about their mistakes. And then we decide, that's who they are. He's a troublemaker. She'll never change. He's an addict. She can't do anything. These labels are so crucial. But what if we're wrong? What if we're looking at somebody's worst chapter and assuming that's the entire book? Every person has worth. Every person has value, and every person has the ability to grow. That doesn't mean we ignore people's behavior. It doesn't mean we excuse harmful decisions. It doesn't mean we enable when they're acting in a way that's detrimental to themselves or others. It doesn't mean we don't hold them accountable. It means we don't take away the humanity while we're holding them accountable. There's a difference. We can tell somebody what you did was wrong without telling them you are worthless. We can say you need to make a change without saying you'll never change. Because accountability can correct behavior, but shame can destroy a person. And I think we need to pay attention to how we speak about other people, especially when they're not around. Because sometimes the way we speak about others is a reflection of what's happening inside of us. Is there anger? Is there judgment? Is there fear? Is there insecurity? Are we putting our own experiences and biases into somebody else? I made a shirt today just for this video. Speak life. Because I really believe in this message. I believe in the message and the power of our words. because we don't always know what somebody's been through. We don't know what they're carrying. We don't know what happened before they walked through that door, and we don't know what they're capable of becoming. Our words have power because they don't always end when the conversation ends. You might say something to somebody for 30 seconds, and they might remember those words for 30 years. Think about that. I was told 3 words when I was 10 years old by a therapist, just so they could see if I had a memory. Brown tobacco airplane. I still remember those 3 words. That's how impactful just something that doesn't even have a meaning behind it can be. So just think about the words we say that have impact, that have, a description behind them that somebody else may value when you say it. You could be one of the hundreds of people somebody interacts with in a day, but you might say the one thing they remember. You might be the person who made them feel worthless, or you might be the person who gave them hope. You might be the person who reminded them you can do better, you are worth something, your past doesn't have to determine your future. I'm not giving up on you. We have an opportunity every single day to decide what we're going to put into the world. Are our words creating pain? Are they creating shame? Are they creating division? Or are they creating hope? Are they creating connection? Are they creating growth? Because we shape each other. Iron sharpens iron. We're all in this together. That's why I say that motto, is because we all affect each other. We all have an impact on each other. And some of us minimize that, but that doesn't mean that that's truth and that it doesn't matter, because they do. The way we treat people matters. The way we speak matters. The energy we bring into a room matters. And I believe we all have the ability to use our words to build, to edify, to encourage, to bring hope, and to sometimes, and sometimes, speaking life doesn't mean saying everything is okay. Sometimes speaking life means telling somebody the truth while still reminding them that they have value. Sometimes it means saying that you've messed up, but you're not a failure. You made a bad decision, but you're not a bad person. You have work to do, but you're capable of doing it. Just giving people that encouragement of saying, hey, you might not be doing the right thing now, but you know what the right thing is, and I believe you can accomplish that. That's speaking life. And I believe that who we are, who we become is our responsibility. Who we are right now is just the start. Who we become is our responsibility. It's about what step we're taking. What foot are we putting in front of the other? And how we respond to other people is also our responsibility. And I'm not perfect. I don't always have the perfect responses. I don't always act the right way in situations. I have my defects that where I react instead of respond. But it's still my responsibility. And how we speak is our responsibility. What we put in the environment around us is our responsibility. So I want to challenge all of you, challenge all of us to tap in. Tap into the people around you. Be present. Be aware. Listen. Pay attention. Sometimes the person sitting next to you doesn't need another person telling them what's wrong with them. Maybe they need somebody to remind them that they're worth something. Maybe they need compassion. Maybe they need kindness. Maybe they need hope. Maybe they just need somebody willing to sit beside them and say, I'm here. We don't have to fix everybody. We don't have to save everybody, but we can choose not to make somebody's life harder than it already is. We can choose our words. We can choose our kindness. We can choose compassion. We can choose hope. Like my hat says, unconditional hope. And that's not just because of the program. That's a statement that I really believe in. Unconditional hope. Because our words don't just feed other people. Our words feed us too. What we constantly speak becomes part of the environment we live in. So here's the question I want to leave you with. What are you planting? When you walk into a room, what do you bring with you? When you talk about somebody, what are you planting? What are you talking about? What kind of energy are you bringing? When you're talking to somebody who's struggling, what are you saying? What are you feeding them? Are you feeding on negativity, or are you providing them hope? Are you planting pain or healing? Are you darkness or light? Because we have a choice. And maybe the person standing in front of you today isn't the person they're going to be tomorrow. Maybe they're still growing. Maybe they're still healing. Maybe they're still trying to figure out who they are. And that's okay. Because we don't have to know exactly who we are right now. We don't have to know exactly where we're going. But if we have a desire and a vision of going somewhere different and better and in a positive direction, that's what matters. And maybe they just need somebody to see something in them they can't see in themselves yet. I know what that's like to be labeled. I know what it's like to have people decide who you're going to become. But I also know that people can change. And I know that sometimes one person believing in you can make all the difference. It did for me. So let's be those people. Let's speak life. Let's build people up. Let's use our words to create hope instead of shame. Let's use our purpose to help people around us grow. And let's leave every room, every conversation, and every person we encounter a little bit better than when we found them. Because you never know what someone is carrying. So choose words that give them something worth carrying forward. Speak life, man. You know, I want to leave you with this. I was a very negative person for a long time. And I didn't use good words. I didn't speak life. I didn't speak hope into anybody. I was very demeaning. I was very aggressive. I was very violent. And I spoke a lot of negativity, and I fed on that for a long time. And then something changed when I had just a few people really believe in me, really support me, and really love me unconditionally, even when I couldn't love myself. And that was the change. That little bit of feeding, that little bit of genuine and sincere caring and kindness, compassion, changed me. It gave me the ability to start changing myself. And so I just ask that you guys try that out. Do that. Speak life. Give some hope to somebody else, and encourage the society around us to do something different. There's so much division. There's so much divide. There's so much hatred. There's not a lack of that. There's a lack of edifying others. So speak life. I started this company printing shirts and merchandise for money. But then I realized I have a message. So now I get to put my voice, my message on my clothing to share with the world. And that's just one way. I do these videos. I do presentations. I speak in the community. I speak to others. I talk with individuals that are knee deep in their addictions and shortcomings every single day. And I love what I do. And I love the people I get to interact with. And all I can do for them is to speak life. And when they're ready, I'm right here ready with them. So try that today. So this is Roger Shelstad with Finding the Growth Equation. I know this might be a little bit longer video, but you know what? This is a message that needs to get out there. So please like, subscribe, share, follow. Help it get out there, man, because this is a message that I really, truly, passionately believe in. And I just I don't think enough people can hear it. Everybody needs to hear it. Because we speak life. We can get biblical, we can go down the road of a lot of different things, but we have the power to speak life. And I just want people to start speaking love, life, and positivity. Because all that other stuff is out there, it's going to be out there, and it's going to continue. But we need more messages of saying speak life. I'll catch you guys later.